well, can you guys start off and introduce yourselves to our site visitors?
Sure. I'm Samantha.
I'm Jeremy. We're Marian Hill.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me here at Firefly. I know it's early yet, but how are you enjoying it so far?
We're doing well. We just drove in from Philly, from the suburbs, so we've been awake for a while and we're ready to go.
Awesome. So, what can you share with, our site visitors about what you guys are working on right now?
Yeah, so we released an EP in February, and then we're working on our full-length album that will hopefully be released in late January, early February.
Awesome. So are you happy with the feedback that the music's been getting so far? Because everything I've been reading has been really, really positive.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. And we just had our first real headlining tour that was sold out all of our U.S. dates. So that was just so exciting and so affirming. And now we can't wait we have another tour coming up in the fall.
That's awesome. Is it surreal for you guys still a little bit?
Yeah, it definitely is.
I've been talking to people about how all these things happen and sort of internally you have to catch up and it's much slower. So I just feel like I'm kind of on a lag catching everything as it comes.
Absolutely. So, can you talk a little bit, how far along in the recording process are you? Can you tell me what the mindset's been like in the studio when you guys are putting this stuff together?
We write everything together. So it's a lot of just trying to write as many great songs as we can and not think too much more about it. Because at this point we're just trying to build them up so that we can sit back and look at what we've made and pick our favorites.
Yeah, we're pretty far along. We have a nice catalog. So we're just, like Jeremy said, ready to pick our favorites and compile it.
Absolutely. I love with your music that you bring a lot of other elements of sound, like with the little bit bluesy, a little saxophone, like that. Like, how important is keeping those elements, or you guys like to go a little bit more experimental sometimes?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question, because we started out, Jeremy came to me with a beat for Whiskey, and he released it to a couple blogs, and I picked it up, and then we gained a lot of momentum. But we'd only had one song, so we really had to work backwards. And then for a little while, I think we sort of boxed ourselves in, and we're trying to figure out where we can take Marian Hill while keeping our same aesthetic and a similar sound. But a lot of that has been Jeremy too, experimenting with different sounds and.
Yeah, there's a lot of, we've been experimenting a lot. It'll be cool to see what ends up on the album and what feels like too much and etc. But there's definitely, we've been pushing in all directions, both more pop and more experimental.
So, you talked a little bit about releasing a track to a blog, and how much of a tool has social media been? Because I know it's so important for bands to be involved with it these days.
We wouldn't exist without blogs and Hype Machine on like a very basic level. Like, I emailed Whiskey out to like 60 blogs myself, 3 picked it up, then a publicist came on board because he saw that, and then we were number 9 on Hype Machine, and people wanted to meet with us and were asking us, are you taking this seriously, what are you working on next? And we at that point had half of another song. So we're really indebted to that for sort of giving us that initial affirmation and like telling us like the world is into what you're doing, so keep doing it. From there we've had so many things, from people tweeting about us so we get a ton more followers, to like us showing up in a Vine so we've had Snapchat help us a lot. It's been like a lot of different avenues, and certainly we're indebted to social media.
Absolutely. So if you had to list one thing that was probably misunderstood about the band, is there something that people tend to get wrong?
That was one person. That's our biggest
always,
misunderstanding. Understandably so.
We're a duo. We're fighting hard to establish that in everyone's mind.
Slow journey.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely, I think, it's like you always get random Wikipedia pages popping up with like all this misinformation sometimes, and it's so hard.
Yeah. There was also this really funny narrative at the beginning, I think last year sometime, that like Jeremy went to a music composition college and I was sort of roughing it on the streets of New York, which, like, as glamorous as that sounds, is not completely true.
We can run with it.
We did both go to school. Yeah, and we've been friends for a long time before that. So
awesome. So if you had to pick one change in the music industry that has probably had the biggest effect on the way you approach the recording process and everything, what would it be?
One, how broad can we go? Because the most obvious one is, there are two. There's the internet, and then there's like computer recording software. Just because, like, I think probably 10 years ago we couldn't do what we do. Like, we recorded, I think, all of our EP that's out now in my bedroom and mastered it. Well, it got remastered, but for a while we were doing the entire process, start to finish, on my laptop in my room. And that's really been indispensable. I don't know what we do, because our process is so, we write as we record. And if we needed to jockey for studio time and raise the funds for that, it'd be a lot harder to do what we do.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I agree. All of the above.
That's great. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for taking a
Thank
few
you.
minutes to speak with me at
course.
Firefly. Is there any artists you're looking forward to seeing here tonight?
Glass Animals.
I'm excited for Sylvan Esso and DJ Mustard, who are unfortunately playing at the same time.
Paul McCartney, obviously.
I'm like, I'm seeing a Beatle tonight.
I
Come
know.
on.
There's so many, actually. I am very excited.
Absolutely. Well, great. Thank you guys so much.
course.
We definitely look forward to hearing more from you guys
Yeah,
soon.
thank you.
Thank you.